So maybe you've heard of the evil eye or the mal de ojo. Or maybe you've seen the little jewelry in the stores with the little blue eye on it. Or maybe somebody's given you one and told you that it's going to protect you. But should we be using the evil eye to ward off evil? That's a good question. So let's talk about this evil eye thing and find out exactly what it is and how it works. I will tell you my thoughts about it as well. So, what is the evil eye, anyways? It is believed to be associated with the idea that someone wishes harm or envy on others. This can result in harm to the person being envied, or when someone wishes to put harm on them. The eye represents both the giver of the negative energy and a focus for deflecting it. Some signs that people have been affected by the evil eye can include sudden illness or malaise, loss of fortune or success, unexplained accidents or difficulties. I just have to say that sounds a little bit witchcrafty to me, because how can somebody put these bad, evil things on you without using some kind of magical powers or witchcraft of some kind? But let's look into the origins of this thing and see if it does come from a pagan source. So the oldest origins actually come from Mesopotamia. The earliest known references in 3000 BC to the evil eye come from Sumerian and Babylonian texts and artifacts. Ancient Mesopotamians believed that the gaze of an envious or malevolent person could bring misfortune, particularly to those who were successful or prosperous, and protective amulets and prayers were used to counterfeit the efforts of this eye. In ancient Egypt in 2000 BC, the Eye of Horus, a prominent Egyptian symbol, is often linked to protection against harm, though it is distinct from the concept of the evil eye. Egyptians believed that envy or curses could manifest harm, and they used protective symbols and rituals to counteract these forces. If we go to ancient Greece in the 6th century BC, the evil eye became widely discussed in Greek culture, where it was known as the mati. Yeah, I was about to read it in Greek, but I don't read Greek. So I was like, well, wait a minute. The mati, meaning eye. So Greek philosophers like Plutarch wrote about the evil eye as a form of emanating energy where a person's envious glance could affect others negatively. The Greeks were actually the first to use the blue colored charms resembling the evil eye, itself as protective amulets. And in ancient Rome, Romans inherited the belief in the evil eye from the Greeks and associated it with envy and ill intentions. And Roman mosaics and art will depict the eyes or phallic symbols to protect against the evil eye, which was believed to bring bad luck or illness. So as of today now, it's obviously spread to, Middle Eastern cultures, Indian, Mediterranean traditions, Hispanic, all of these things. If you're Spanish, you know all about this. And we're going to talk about that too a little bit later. So let's go a little deeper into how the evil eye was actually used in ancient times. It was used as a means of protection, kind of the same like how people are using it today. But let's talk a little bit more about that. So they used things like amulets and charms. So in the Mesopotamian, Greek, Roman cultures, people wore protective amulets, often in the shape of an eye, to guard against the evil eye. These amulets were believed to repel or absorb the negative energy directed towards the wearer. And like we said before, the Eye of Horus, they used to wear that, and it was also an eye symbol that was a physical representation for protection, often embedded with jewels and worn as pendants and stuff like that. You've seen the Eye of Horus before. You've definitely seen that around in Egyptian culture, right? Ancient Egypt. They used to do rituals, incantations. So ancient people would perform rituals or recite prayers to protect themselves from the evil eye. For example, ancient Greece, it was common to recite specific invocations for prayers for divine protection. And in the Middle East and South Asia, people would use prayers, incantations, and spitting. Yes, spitting. considered to ward off the evil eye, but to negate the effects of harmful gazes. I want to say that there are people that are still doing this today. That there are some cultures that do the spitting thing. So it's supposed to be for good luck, if you've heard of that. So yeah, I love to read about different cultures and what they do. So I've read a lot about these kind of things. Pretty interesting. So they also had protective objects. So they had blue and white beads, commonly known as Nazar beads, which became widespread as protective items in the Mediterranean region, including Greece and Turkey. The blue eye symbol believed to resemble the evil eye itself, and it would be worn or displayed in homes and businesses to protect them from malevolent forces. In some cultures, the hamsa hand, a hand-shaped amulet, I think you've probably seen this as well. I've seen this. So it would be used alongside or in place of the evil eye symbol to protect against envy and negative energy. So they would also do cleansing rituals. There's still lots of people doing it today. If you go into a botanica, they're doing these things. Or you go into people's house doing santeria, they're doing the same things. A lot of African religions, that's kind of where some of this comes from. Pagan religions and things like that, they're doing, cleansing rituals. So in many cultures, if someone was believed to have been affected by the evil eye, and again, still today, they would do a cleansing ritual that was performed. This could involve the use of salt, fire, water, or herbs to remove the curse or harmful influence. And in some cases, a shaman or a spiritual leader would be consulted to perform the cleansing ritual, which might involve prayer offerings or spiritual practices to restore balance of health. This stuff is sounding really, really witchcrafty to me, y'all. It's I don't know how you can deny it. I really don't. I'm just saying, you're doing these cleansing rituals. You have these objects that you think are protecting you. You're doing incantations and rituals and, things like this, doing all this superstitious type stuff, thinking that these, objects are going to protect you against evil. But it's the symbol of the evil thing itself. So I don't know. I'm just saying, let's think logically about this. Let's think about it. So if that's not enough for you to start to understand that this is witchcraft, this is magic, using objects to protect you, let's hear about what they do with it in Santeria, right? What is Santeria? It's a syncretic religion that blends elements of West African Yoruba beliefs with Roman Catholicism, which they use the concept also of the evil eye, or they call it el mal de ojo, right? So they'll usually use it on people who are vulnerable or in a state of joy, such as a pregnant woman or a child. They're often considered more susceptible to the effects of the evil eye. So this vulnerability is thought to invite jealousy or envy from others who may unintentionally or intentionally cast harmful energy through their gaze. So oftentimes they'll give, the little bracelet for the evil eye to a child to wear for DK protection, right? Protection. But it's not actually protecting you. It's actually bringing bad things. So let's talk a little bit more about that, what they're doing in Santeria. So also in many African-based traditions as well, envy is seen as a powerful, dangerous force that can disrupt the natural harmony of an individual's life. Now, okay, sure, if somebody's envying you and somebody, I'm not going to say that that's never going to affect you, because, you could see somebody doing that and they get so jealous and they decide to go after you and take what you have or whatever, that does happen. But it's not like a force. It's not like a spiritual force or anything like that. This is just something bad. This is something evil that this person is doing. And a little eye is not going to protect you guys. It's not gonna happen. So you're gonna have to find another way to protect yourself against this person. Maybe cut this person out of your life, stop talking to them if it's that bad. So in Santeria, let's get back to it. So in Santeria, envy is not just a psychological emotion, but they believe that it's a spiritual force that can affect one's physical, emotional, or spiritual well-being. Now, in some way, I could see this maybe in a demonic way. Maybe if somebody, if people are doing Santeria, then they're engaging in witchcraft, because I mean that's what Santeria is. I mean it's a witchcraft type religion. So yeah, they could technically cast a spell on you or do magic or put some demonic spirits on you if you're not covered by the blood of Jesus. Yeah, they could definitely do that. But just envy within itself is not a spiritual force. So that's only if you got some witchcraft behind it. You know what I'm saying? So another thing they believe is the mal de ojo has as a curse. So they believe that it's a curse or a spiritual attack resulting from someone's negative or envious gaze, that it can affect the individual's health, prosperity, relationships, or fortune. So this curse is often believed to occur unintentionally, but as many people are not aware of their gaze or their thoughts as directed by jealousy or malice, it can also be intentional. Like I said, if people are doing magic and stuff like that. So as you can see, the evil eye clearly did and still does to this day have pagan roots in witchcraft. And if you decide to wear it, you're opening yourself up to you don't know what. Okay? You don't know what you could be bringing into your life. This is anything tied to witchcraft is a demonic thing. There is no white and black magic. It's all bad. It's all bad magic, because all of it comes from somewhere evil. So witchcraft is not a game, it's not a joke, and it's something serious that you should never be dabbling in, paganism or wearing pagan symbols or things like that. And if you're not a Christian and you say, well, I don't believe in God, so I don't care, but you do believe in the supernatural, like spirits and ghosts, you think your dead relatives talk to you, where do you think these things come from? Who made them? Who made these spirits? Where are these ghosts coming from? Where does your soul go? Supposedly people think that these spirits are hanging around on the earth until they have unfinished business that they finish, and then they go somewhere. Where do they go? You think they go to heaven? Well, if they go to heaven, then you believe that there's a God, right? You believe that he's up there. I mean, otherwise, whose heaven is it? What is heaven? You know what I'm saying? Where do the dead people go that aren't ghosts, if this is what you believe? You have to be able to explain this. If you believe in spirits, energy, forces, if you believe in these things and you're like, oh, but I'm spiritual, because something, doesn't just come out of nothing, so things to think about. So my recommendation is that you stay away from the evil eye. You don't have anything to do with it. It is pagan. It is witchcraft. It's not just a fashion jewelry. It's not just a fashion statement. It's not just like, oh, this looks cool, I'm going to wear it. These things are oftentimes, well, I'm not going to say they're blessed, but they're blessed in an evil way. These things have a meaning if you're wearing it thinking that you're warding off evil spirits. I don't know how you can ward off evil with something called evil. It's called the evil eye. I don't know. I don't know how that works. So it doesn't make sense to me. But I recommend you stay away from it. I've seen people become demonized by these things, and just throw it away. If somebody gave you one, throw it in the trash. Just get rid of it. Like for real, do it. Do it today. If you bought one, if you got one in your car, throw it in the garbage right now. We're going to talk a little bit more about this. I'm going to make a few more videos about it. So we're going to go a little deeper into why, if you're still not really on board, if you're like, I don't really think it's that bad, just watch the next couple of videos that are coming out about it. And we're going to go a little deeper into why you really should get rid of this thing. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe. Check out my other videos.